All right. A minute. Get that set up properly there. Assalamu alaikum. Say it again. Assalamu alaikum. Basheer Muhammad. Popkeys, Brother Cap. Peace to the black nation, black family. I pray that all is well on this Monday night. As old Ray Charles used to say, and the sun's a rainy night in Georgia. But we're going to see if we can bring a little bit of sunshine in the night. And I'm going to open up with prayer tonight as usual. In the most holy name of Almighty God Allah, who came to us in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, the great Mahdi, who was to come and has come to restore we who were lost from our own kingdom of Islam and to destroy those that have destroyed us. Thou art God, all thy we are thy people. Deliver us from the murders, and we serve and obey thee all the days of our lives, and we teach our children to submit to thee, to that unequal love and mercy for thou. And thanks to you, O Allah, for making manifest to us our enemy, the devil. Help us, O Allah, to live the life and die the death of a Muslim. I bear witness there's no God but Allah. I bear witness that Allah came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, the great Mahdi. I pray, Allah, that you remove the heart of the devil from thee and the black nation, that we learn to submit to that one mind in the universe and come back into our natural state of being. And we take charge of our planet and become the gods of the universe again. So thank you, Allah, for this day. Thank you for this gift of life. May you restore that divine hedge around the black man, woman, and child in America and ultimately on this planet. But we're the ones in the mud. We're the ones in the graveyard of ignorance, of slavery, suffering, and death. Raise that holy tribe of Shabazz, which means indestructible, back into its rightful place in our universe. So thank you, Allah, for this day and this gift of life. Amen. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Assalamu alaikum, black people. You know, I pray you all come on in tonight. And I would like to say, you know, organization is very, very key to our success and proper planning. That is the key. Learn how to be highly organized, disciplined, self-control, and the proper plan. Those are very, very, very important keys. You know, I went to an event this weekend with my grandchildren and my daughter, and I went to the academy that the Muslims have. And I know the very, very stark difference between the nation and some of our Orthodox Muslims as relate to our children. They weren't very, very organized, and this is really not to be critical But we need to take on very better qualities when we come to teaching our children how to be organized. That example comes from the adults. How to teach our children to be disciplined, how to stand. I see the adults standing there doing presentation with their hands in their pockets and slumped over. They had the young children coming up to do presentation and receive awards or they were playing soccer. But I didn't see the discipline. I didn't see children taught how to stand without their hands in their pocket. They weren't organized on how to stand. Even in the order that they called the children up, they weren't even lined up properly. Wasn't taught to have that stomach in, chest out, head up. I said, damn, they need me to come and teach the children. I would do it for free. You understand? Because we need to be trained properly from day one. You understand what I'm trying to tell you, brothers and sisters? We can do a better job because when our children were raised and taught, they were taught discipline and self-control. And it came from the structure that they were placed in because we were highly, highly organized, even the way we placed our chairs. When we set the chairs up for the audience, we would place our foot in between the two chairs, and that was our space, and they'd line up in the perfect row. You understand? So we teaching our children, but we're not teaching them how to be organized. Everything in the universe is organized. If anything in our universe gets out of order, it does what? It disintegrates. Understand what I'm saying? We have to do better. When you go to the University of Islam, everything is highly organized and disciplined. The children know how to stand. They know how to stand on the square. They're taught how to sit. And they're taught high self-esteem. You understand? And character development from day one. So let's do better by our children. And one of the subjects I want to go into tonight is super learning. I say super learning. And I want to go into some of the origins of life on our planet. I covered a lot of this. Not a lot. I covered some of it because it's a lot. I have so much knowledge to give to you all so we can become better. So we can answer some of the questions that we have in our mind about ourselves, our capability, our universe, our solar system, our earth, our sun, even about how animal life and plant life is developed on our planet. You understand? Everything that's been taught to you by the Caucasian, throw it out. They got the nerve to tell us we evolved from animals. Y'all go for that? But look at what they're teaching you. It's completely opposite. All animals evolved from the black nation, the black gods, that 1,800,000,000 that descended on our planet. We're going to go into some of that tonight. And I have to pick the subjects carefully. And I have to pray to Allah that I can give it to you where you can receive it and gain some understanding. And what you have to learn about understanding. But a lot of times, understanding don't come right away. When I used to be in the FOI class when I first come into the teaching of Honorable Muhammad Elijah Muhammad, we went through the whole message to the black man from the beginning to the end. And a lot of knowledge that I received and heard, I didn't fully understand it all the way, but I was seeking understanding. So as I traveled through life, all the things that I didn't understand, I become to know. And I want to say, before I go any further, you all should tap into the podcast at 19 Keys, myself, 19 Keys, Basheer, Samad, and the other brother, I believe his name Kuwazi. And forgive me, brother, if I'm messing up your name as we sit in the circle. And Brother Steve, and had a very, very high level conversation, breaking off those ciphers. This is how we should sit down in our families, in our homes, amongst the brothers and the sisters, and kick knowledge. You understand? Because each one of us brings something to the table where we learn, each one teach one, where we grow. So that podcast that we did last night was very, 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 very powerful. For those that haven't seen it, tap in. Say it again. Go take a look at it. You understand? And share it. This is how we grow. This is how we develop our brotherhood. This is how we develop a strong black nation with powerful minds and clear understanding. You understand what I'm trying to tell you tonight, black people? So I said, up, you mighty nation, accomplish what you will. And I would like to say also to the some of the sisters, they say, well, how come you didn't have the women in there? Well, everything, sisters, is not to be shared at that time with the woman. How, just like you have a group of women that sit around, like you had the NBT, maybe they would sit around. Well, we don't say things are not balanced because we're not there. You understand what I'm trying to say? That's the wrong understanding. Sometimes men have to get together on their own level of understanding, you understand, and share, break off knowledge with one another, you understand? So if you get the black man elevated, you understand, if the black man is in the mud and we elevate the black man, then we automatically bring our woman up. We got balance. You understand? So take the good. Sometimes you have to take your feelings out of things. You understand? Every time, that's what's wrong with America today. We all think we should be able to do what each one of us do. We got women boxing. We got women playing football. All these other things that men have to develop amongst themselves. And all our bodies are not the same. I can't have no baby. I don't have no desire to have one. Understand what I'm saying? So let things be sometime. Just take the good. Understand? Take the good. Quit finding a reason to criticize everything. Because in actuality, this is being done for you. If we raise that black man up out the mud, you understand? Then you're going to be secured. You're going to be provided for, protected, and maintained. Then we can develop our own environment, our own nation, our own community. You understand? You won't be having to be pushing the black man, talking about you ain't doing this, you're not doing that. You understand? Understand what I'm saying? This is what we're working on. Look, I've been teaching and training and raising men and women from the dead for a long, long time. Understand? There's a proven track record on that. Understand what I'm saying? So let things just be. Understand? And always give your brother and the sister the benefit of the doubt. You understand what I'm trying to say? We always can find a way to. That's the easiest thing on the planet is to criticize. You don't take no knowledge to criticize. Even when I see people criticizing the brother Deion Sanders for taking this job in Colorado, but all of a sudden, we want to be monolithic when it comes to somebody else. But do you practice it? So what Basheer Farad Muhammad does, I just look at the good. I look at the good how he took a lot of those young brothers on the football team. Some of them made millions. You understand? How he took and raised that program up in the profile of the historical black colleges and universities to a whole nother level. You understand? He has to, because he has aspirations to grow. So we can't call the man a sellout. Look at the good that he has done. You understand? All we do is criticize. But we get mad at the white man when he criticizes us, trying to check us. Hell, we're not even united as a damn people. You understand what I'm trying to tell you at this point in time? So time out for that. Take the good, get the knowledge, and grow yourself. That's the key. When we grow into that one mind, you understand? Well, we have the same heartbeat. Our heartbeats, all of us. Like that of Elijah Holmes is 4,400,000,000. Our heartbeat at the same damn time. You understand? That's divine unity. Understand? So go look at the EYL podcast. Very, very powerful. This is how we build. This is how we make gods. This is how we start to take over our planet. But all that criticism ain't gonna get us a damn thing but what we getting right now in the graveyards of America. Understand what I'm trying to tell you, black folks? Come on. Up, United Nation. Accomplish what you will. And it all begins in the mind of the original man and woman. Say it again. It starts up here. It connects our minds. And there's ways and lessons that we can do that. You're not going to get this from that cracker. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? You're not going to get that conversation on NBC, HBO, Showtime, MSNBC, CNN, and none of that. They're going to keep you ignorant as hell. They're going to dumb you down. And they're going to put fear in you. And the only damn thing they're going to tell you the way you can change your condition is to go do some damn voting and try to appease you with a black face as a House Speaker. Like this is the only way. No, if you knew yourself, if you truly knew yourself, you wouldn't pay very much attention to that at all. Because that's what's been holding us back is when we integrated in the first damn place. Separation is the key, black folks. Separate and unite amongst ourselves. And I like to say I'm proud of all of them young brothers, all of them young guys. I am so pleased with that demonstration. And you know, I woke up today, man, and moving around, I just felt power. I felt very, very powerful. Understand? And somebody said something to me, why you standing like that? Because that's the way I'm on my power. You understand what I'm saying? Take it or let it alone. Black man God, and so is his woman. Ain't that enough for you? Huh? Bring your loyalty back, black woman, to the black man and the black nation. Take it out the belly of the beast, black man as well. Where you at? You in the mud looking up. You used to say the white of your eyes, but you're so toxic now, they're not even white anymore. Huh? Allah Akbar. But this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go into a little bit of these tidbits. I got some knowledge for you. Y'all want it, I get it to you. Understand what I'm saying? I'm going to show you your power. I'm going to show you who you are. I'm going to tell you how things came into being. You understand? This is the knowledge you need to be taught at an early damn age. This is just little tidbits. And some of it I had to kind of decipher before I give it to you. Understand what I'm trying to tell you? It says, all of heaven and earth are the creation of black people. What is called heaven is a mental state. It is not a physical space somewhere. It exists only in the mind. Think about that. In scriptures such as the Bible and Quran, the word heaven is also used to mean the sky. Most of our minds are sitting in the graveyards and dungeons of hell, looking for peace, looking for love, looking for happiness, looking for a way to change your condition, looking for a way to come up out of the mud, looking for a way to get up out of poverty, looking for a way to get out of your bad morals and principles and practices that you have been dropped in or conditioned to live in and accept as truth. Falsehood has been placed over the truth. I'm going to take it off the tape. It says, when it says the gods appeared in heaven, it means they appeared in the sky in a spaceship. Oh, yes. Might look out in the sky tonight and see one, but you don't know what you're seeing. You're in such a denial because you've been conditioned to deny what you see in a real reality. And also, all appearances can be deceptive. But check it out. It says, all we need is what? Not money, not things, not a Benz, not a Maybach, not a big house, a dog in a white picket fence. All these things can be given unto you, but what you need is your mind, the mind of the original man, the mind of the creator, because that DNA was in you. We need our minds back. Check it. It said the diameter of the earth is 7,926 miles. You understand? And the reason I gave you this is this. If you want to know the measurement of our solar system, times that by what? 1 million. If you want to know the diameter of our universe, 24,896 miles, times that by 1 million, and you get the answer. It said the sun is a giant nucleus and the earth a giant electron, as are the other planets. And what these electrons do, this is where the sun comes in at. It's a nucleus. And all planets, all electrons spin around what? That nucleus. Allahu Akbar. I'm trying to break it down to you tonight, black folks. It said the electron has been measured at 1/4 trillionth of an inch, and atom across at about 1/4 millionth of an inch across. It says what the black man creates can never be destroyed. And I'm going to give you a sample. We are brought over here in America by the millions. They say the original man lost damn near over 100 million on the passage. But look at us. Have they destroyed us? Hell no. We keep coming and coming through all of the things, the degradation and the terror and the horror and the maiming and the beatings and the whippings that we have been through and continue to receive. What are we doing? We still coming on this planet. The white man is baffled while his birth rate had declined. They say South Korea is damn near at zero growth rate. You understand? They can't destroy us. What we created, the earth, they can't destroy our planet at all. Though they might try, it can't be done. This is your power. This is your ability, black people. Moving right along though. This is just my tidbits. It says prior to 6,000 years ago, religion did not exist. Check it out. Black people then lived a natural life. It said what you call earthly principles or the laws of nature were designed by the 1,800,000,000 black people. They are the laws that govern existence in the universe. Black people, as God, are not subject to the laws of nature. We are the creators of the laws of nature. Now, this is where I want to go. I ain't going to keep playing with you. We want to go into super learning. Not this stuff you getting out these books of the devil. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to give you the knowledge tonight on how to teach your children and yourself. the ancient way. A lot of these things can't be practiced in the black nation, especially in our school system, because first of all, you can't teach the black man God in the public school system, and then all others come from the original man. So a lot of this knowledge has been kept secret up to now. All right. It says, in our society, there should be no writing. These are just tidbits. Children are trained by adults by being asked to recount their dreams. Of the night before in detail. Learn to talk to your children. Understand what I'm saying? Sit them down in nature, not in that box in these public school systems. You understand? Take them to nature. Let me go on though. And then relate, and then have them speak about their days, their adventures when everyone is sitting around the home fire at night. Black people, quit being so doggone lazy and start taking care of business so business can take care of us. So this is done in an atmosphere of fun, making it enjoyable to the children. Come on. And so their memories become well trained, making it easy for them to remember and understand stories or used to teach them. You understand? I remember when I was growing up, I gathered in my book where the older people would sit out at night, the elders, and they would build a fire. Everybody in the neighborhood, you understand, would come. We had what really was a community. And they would sit around and tell these stories about things that took place in the past and some of their thoughts. You understand? While we ran around and we played and jumped. You understand? But this is what they were doing. And so their memories become well trained, making it easy for them to remember and understand stories used to teach them. It said teachers and families should teach character development. Say it again. The teachers and the family should be teaching character development. This is the ancient way. Now we get ready to get down. I'm going to jump on this first and I'm going to come back. It says, the human mind is organized in such a way that it can be trained by repetition. It says forgetfulness is nothing more than the habit of forgetting. Similarly, recall is more than getting the mind into a habit of remembering, and this takes practice. Obviously, the best way to start training the mind is when one is a child. Listen, when the conscious mind is very pliable, but one can do it as an adult also. The key to success is to be aware that super learning or recalling is like making a path through a field by constantly walking it. Once this idea becomes clear in the mind, then the training plan will succeed. There are many systems formulated by many authors to do this, some more successful than others. The difference in success is called by whether or not the learner is aware of the mechanics of the conscious recall, which, as I said, is to walk a path through the nerve circuits that make up the force of the human brain. Most of the books, and not all of them, use the same technique of learning by repetition. I'm going to read that back a little bit. The difference in success is called by whether or not the learner is aware of the mechanics of the conscious recall, which, as I said, is the walking path through the nerve circuits that make up the force of the human brain. There's a better method, though, that doesn't depend on books, using details of your own dreams or daily activities. These two methods are the best and quickest because they are personal and therefore geared to each individual uniqueness. That's why in school, a lot of times, we used to say, I get tired sitting up in front of this damn board and this teacher giving us a packet while she's sitting that butt at the desk. But how is it applicable to my life? The best way is to teach them, put it into their life in a natural setting. Let me go on with this though. You're going to break this all down tonight. It says, what you do is keep a pencil and paper next to your bed and write down your dreams every morning in as much detail as possible. Another alternative, keep a daily journal and write down your daily activities every evening in as much detail as you can. The longer you do this, the more details you'll remember. Listen, recollection is directly related to learning. The easier you can recall details, the easier you can learn new ones. Thus, super learning and super recall are two sides of the same coin. In tribal society where there is no writing, children are trained by adults by being asked to recount their dreams of the night before in detail, and then relate their day's adventure when everyone is sitting around the home fire at night. This is done in an atmosphere of fun making. It's enjoyable to the children, and so the members become well trained, making it easy for them to remember and understand stories used to teach them. This is a science that I'm giving you tonight. Listen, these are initiation processes that we use in the ancient teachings. They said there are 12 places on our planet that they teach this now, but it's not taught in the open. Listen, it said the teacher continues discussing the children's ritual of character development as it was in ancient days. It said when children are in attendance, they don't sit in classrooms as modern children do. That lessons take place mostly outside in a natural setting. In every ritual, they are taught about the character development of a person. They are taught that each aspect of character is directly reflected in a specific part of the human body, and how each one recreates its plants and animals. The format of the lesson is somewhat like this. Listen well. First of all, children are never discouraged from indulging in their imaginary worlds. A lot of your children have imaginary friends. Matter of fact, I was talking to my brother today because he had told me the story about how he couldn't wait to go to sleep at night so he can go see his friends. I said, what they look like? He said they were black. He said they'd run around and they would play right there in the hood. They'd have a good time. He said he would do this every night. I said, did they have any name? He said, no. He said, then their parents would come and call them and told them it was time to come in. And he said that's when he would wake up. But he said he would do this every night. They'd just run around and kick it in his imaginary, in his dreams. Imagination is very, very important. Unproved Basheer Music talked about that last night in the podcast. When 19 Keys mentioned that our minds are infinite, but we are limited, which is true. Then Basheer Pooh came when he had the opportunity to cipher. He says what limits us, makes us limited, is that we don't have an imagination. You understand what I'm saying? They breaking off high science last night. You understand? To the people. But let me go on. The lessons take place mostly outside in a natural setting. In every ritual, they are taught about the character development of a person. They are taught that each aspect of character is directly reflected in specific parts of the human body, and how each one creates its plants and animals. The format of the lesson is somewhat like this. First of all, children are never discouraged from indulging in their imaginary worlds. Everyone knows that young children have imaginary friends in imaginary worlds that are as real to them as you and me sitting here. They are encouraged to indulge in these worlds of the imagination. And in a lot of cases, you all discourage that, but you should encourage that. You understand what I'm saying? You should encourage that to the utmost degree possible for their minds. As they grow older and eventually become adults, they retain this power of vivid imagination, having brought it under complete mental control under the guidance of their teacher. As a result, all adults have this power, but more so the teachers of rituals. They use this natural gift. They use this natural gift to us. It's a natural gift, whereas to modern people, listen, it's a natural gift for us, but to modern people, it's a curse from which they must disabuse their children. The teacher take advantage of this gift and use it to impart their lessons. You understand? Y'all go looking at the children like something wrong with them, like they crazy. Where you get this from? The Caucasian. In the white man's school system. But I'm going to give you these keys. Use them and watch your children. But I'm going to keep moving. They encourage all children to create a common imaginary world. The teachers then magnify it with their own minds until it is clearly visible to every child. To all those modern people who have forgotten the imaginary world of their childhood, is somewhat like a lucid dream. But wide awake, once all the children have entered this imaginary world, the teacher puts in it about 7 of the original plants and animals. Using their own imagination, they recreate them into this world the same way you intentionally create objects. Come on. In your lucid dreams, do you not? It said the first 7 or so plants and animals they put in it correspond to those aspects of character that are the first to develop in a child, which are what? Happiness, friendliness, activeness, and so on, corresponding to the appropriate body part like the heart, the eye, the feet, and so on. Then the teacher creates a situation in the imaginary world that leads, for example, to sadness in the child. They feel the sadness and immediately become sick in the corresponding part of the body. And they also notice that the same effect on one of the animals and plants. Animals become sick and the plant begins to decay. Or there's chaos in the house a lot of time. Or sickness. You'll notice the plants don't do too well, do they? Huh? Come on. Animals become sick until the plants begin to decay. They are then encouraged to remove the sadness and replace it with a happy situation. For example, if the sadness was caused by the older children taking the younger children's toys, they give them back, thus restoring their happiness, because it all happens in the imagination. The animals and the plants are immediately healed, and the sickness disappears from the child's body. Because the wisdom of the teachers, imaginary situations come in endless varieties, stimulating their young minds. It says, there are 12 such places on earth, one in each tribe's country. It said every country's garden prototype is in 10 sections. It says the first section of 7,000 prototypes of both plants and animals, corresponding to elementary education, or the first 7 years from age 7 to 14. It says this ritual or education, it says every 7 years, is taught every 7 years until the age of 77. At this age, the person's character reaches full maturity and perfection. And I will say this, in the ancient way, we live much longer in ancient times. Understand what I'm saying? That's why they say it's taught up to the age of 77. And you know the 7 is a number of completion, right? In the head you have 2 ears, 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, and a mouth. That's the head. It's complete. Listen, let me go on. Listen. You said they are educated until the age of 77. What happens at that age? They have a final graduation. All the graduates of the clan come together. They gather in the chief's temple at the capital, and all 72 clans and 2,000 judges welcome them and guide them in the final ritual called the ritual for the creation of life. What I'm trying to tell you tonight, black folks, imagination is the way you create life. Think back to the very, very beginning. Then there was nothing but triple darkness, matter, thought, and electricity. And Allah created himself from nothing. But what was his gift? In his mind, he had an imagination. You understand? In the American public school system, that is taken out the equation. Is it not? This is high level understanding tonight, black folks. Doing the best I can with this subject. It says the graduating group and the judges together make 144,000 people. led by the 2,000 judges and the two chiefs, into a state of consciousness called divine unity. They said we'll talk at great length about this state of mind because it is the culmination of every major ritual of the black nation. It is fostered methodically from childhood, where it began as a shared childhood dream during childhood children's class. It is then developed into 10 stages until it culminates at the age of 77 years of age. Now, suffice it to say that in a state where all the people become one in mind, listen, their hearts and minds become single as if it were the heart and mind of one person, yet each one remaining as a distinct individual. We all one. As soon as divine unity is attained by all, they proceed to raise from their hearts, which beat as one heart, every aspect of their character, one at a time, in the order they were taught beginning in childhood. When the first aspect has risen to fullness in the heart and mind, every man and woman, it takes form right before their mind's eye, develop in the mind's eye, where you can see it. You understand what I'm trying to tell you tonight? As soon as they release it from their minds, two versions of it, a male and a female, flash into physical existence in the appropriate section of the Gardner prototype. Then they go on to the next one. They continue this way non-stop for 40 days and 40 nights without eating, listen, without eating, drinking, or sleeping. They completely lose sense of time and space. And all physical craving like hunger and thirst, the state of divine unity in which that it balances the body, physical energy for as long as a person is enraptured in it. They have then perfected every aspect of their character and are considered from then on to be fully mature adults. They go on to take their place of responsibility inside it. That is the perspective on which we consider what modern scientists call biology. We look at it from above as creators, whereas modern scientists look at it from below as creatures. Got nerve to tell us that we evolved from animals. Some of y'all running around here with master's degrees believe that damn crap. Talking about we evolved from the ape. We're going to break that down a little bit later. It said, but this is no longer taught openly. It has been taught in secrecy ever since the appearance of the light-skinned races 6,000 years ago. It's taught only by the elders of a few African tribes, including the tribe of Botswana, in the southern region of Africa where it was born and raised, where I was born and raised. Unfortunately, initiation is not taught in America. It's not taught here. Even in Africa, it's still the deepest secret. That remains so until the end of this cycle called the cycle of white people, which is nearing its end. When it ends, then the ancient teaching system will come back to the open. We need this so badly right now. This is a little bit of this knowledge he was allowed to speak on. And that's why I'm giving it to you. By the grace of Allah, it's been revealed. But let me move on. But the difference between ancient and modern learning is exactly the difference between intellectuals or book learning and real life experience. This is why it's difficult under the modern system to teach true science and mathematics. They're intricately related to life. Listen, true science and mathematics are intricately related to life. That's why you all have such a hard time in mathematics. You understand? Dealing with math. Whereas the architects of modern education divorce them from everyday real life. They created a school system that incarcerates. They created a school system that incarcerates children all day. Listen, a fenced up prison completely removes them from society and expect them to learn how to live in that very society. The result of nothing more than superficial intellectual knowledge. Listen, the result is nothing more than superficial intellectual knowledge. Ultimately, everyone has to start from scratch after leaving school and try to educate themselves about real life, sometimes gaining some contribution from their schooling, sometimes not. That's why we used to always say, if you had a brother that come up in the streets, you understand what I'm saying, and got some form of education, he was fully more prepared, or she, than a person that didn't live life in society, but all they were doing was stuck in the educational system, learning from a book. Who was the smartest? It's the brothers and the sisters who experienced both processes. You understand? As opposed to the one all he knew was, or she knew was book life. You understand what I'm saying? We can run circle around them. We could outthink them easily because we knew all about the aspects of life. You understand what I'm saying? You might know just a little bit more mathematics, maybe just a little bit more science, but when you took life skills and put them together with book knowledge, you were the most smartest and the most wisest and the most knowledgeable. You understand? And actually, you became the leader of the bookworm because they didn't get both aspects of life. They didn't know how to move in society at all. Wasn't able to see what was coming. They were right there in front of their face. It says, to educate black children properly, we must separate them from other children. There is no way, I repeat, and you can disagree with me as much as you want. There is no way to teach our children properly as long as they are mixed in with the other races. There are many reasons why that is so, but I'll mention just one. We black people made the other races in our image 6,000 years ago. All the trouble on earth started as a result of this. Now, if you truly believe this, how will you teach it to our children in a multi-ethnic setting? How will the other parents let you teach it in their school? Are they not taking out so-called black history right now all across America? You understand? So you couldn't teach our children at all. None of this in the public school system, period. They don't even want that. They call race theory. You understand? They want it out the public school system, period. And they pass some laws to do it. You may say, well, I just want to teach them the principles of ancient science and mathematics, but these principles are based on the fact that God is a black person. How you gonna be in school teaching this? That God is a black person and all other people are made in his or her image. They involve rituals whose foundation is that we do not study science and mathematics, but manifest it on earth. See, we study science and mathematics, but we should be manifesting science and mathematics on our planet. From what? Our minds. practicing the mathematical language as well. But let me move on. It says, made human beings can only study what has been made or created. Read that back. Made human beings can only study what has been made or created. We're not made people, we are the creators. Creators, on the other hand, can only manifest the principles of creation because these principles originate from within them. This is what you carrying around today. And the white man educating us. That's why you young brothers and sisters, a lot of you lose interest in school at the age of 14. You ask your parents, I don't even want to go back to school. Why? Because in your nature, you know this is not the proper way that you should be learning. So you lose this, you become disinterested in the way of the Caucasian. You know it's something inside of you that's not being fully developed. Teaching us about George Washington never told a damn lie, about Christopher Columbus and all these other European characters. And while you know you want something else, that urge and that need is spinning around inside of you, and I ain't interested in none of this crap. How y'all murdered the Indians and brought in Thanksgiving, got us running around on the Day of the Dead talking about Halloween, got us running around talking about Saint Nick, a big old fat cracker with a beard coming down your chimney where you should be blowing it back up it. You understand what I'm saying? Look at this. Look how they reverse your imagination to believe in foolishness. You understand? And not teaching the creators how to create from within and manifest it on our planet. Allahu Akbar. Let me go on. It says these two modes of learning are worlds apart and 180 degrees opposite each other. It said every way we can help our people, especially children, is more than worth the time by mentioning some of the truth of them. Namely, that the ancient way had ways of perfecting people's character. And they also had ways of finding soulmates for everyone, as well as methods of health and hygiene that totally prevented all forms of illness. And many other truths as well we'll discuss in the future. And it's also important to tell them that these scientists and customs will come back into us very soon. As to teaching them the science in detail, it's not possible to do it except by the method of ritual initiation. Black people did not choose this method of learning arbitrarily, did we not? They chose it because it's natural and superior to any other method imaginable now or at any other time. In order to understand the following discussions on the different types of brains, it's important to know that the theory of evolution taught by modern scientists is the exact opposite of the truth. Throw all that crap out. Listen to this. Modern scientists claim that all higher life forms evolved from the lower types. In other words, they claim that all people came from animals. This claim is the direct opposite of the truth. Listen well, people. People did not come from animals. I just told you that in creation. Animals came from people. I repeat, to understand biology, genetics, it's important to realize that all plants and animals on earth came from people. Uh-oh, I'm busting it up tonight. Understand what I'm saying? I know some of y'all sitting back. About, what is he talking about? Hell, I'm giving you the truth tonight. Direct descendants of the Creator is you and I. So how in the hell can we evolve from an animal? With a 7.5-ounce brain, animals do not think like us. They evolved and brought into existence through the imagination of the original man, woman, and child. But let me go on. We're going to bust it off, and then we'll move on to something else. It says, furthermore, there were no animals like apes, hyenas, crows, bats, rats, mosquitoes, and other foul animals. Listen well. All these vile animals as well as poisonous plants, started evolving 6,000 years ago. Understand what I'm saying? Their development is a direct reflection of the nature of the rulers of the world. All these vile animals as well as poisonous plants started developing 6,000 years ago. Their development is a direct reflection of the nature of the rulers of the world. Listen, to be specific, blood-sucking animals and other parasites are a direct reflection of the parasitic nature of the light races, especially as it is most obvious among Jews, Arabs, and other Near East Asians. Foul animals like snakes reflect a deceptive nature. Don't they have that animal, that snake wrapped around a staff, whatever you call it? Especially those of Caucasian and Far East Asian like the Chinese and Japanese. Other disgusting animals represent other foul natures of these people. Before the light race came into existence, these animals did not exist as they are today. After the races were born and started showing their evil nature, foul animals began to develop accordingly. But not all animals were affected to the same extent. Some animals still retain a large part of their purity. For example, most cats, listen, especially lions, tigers, etc., retain most of their pure nature. Dogs, on the other hand, were mostly affected, as can be seen in the dog family like coyotes, hyenas, and all the dogs that have been bred from them. Dogs were bred from the coyotes, hyenas. There is only one dog that remains unaffected by the appearance of the evil nature of the light races. Listen. And that is the African dog known as Pharaoh's hound. Listen, black folks, Allah Akbar, which is black in color and still exists today in some parts of Africa. This clean, non-smelling, non-barking. I always like dogs that do no damn barking. Majestic dog is represented in ancient Egypt and ancient Egypt art as the god Anubis. Other grateful animals and plants like butterflies, some birds, flowers, and trees also remain unaffected. The evolution of all plants and animals therefore follow the inner nature of the most. Listen to this though. I don't want you to miss this. This is how things evolve. Because it's directly related to the mind and nature of us all. Listen, the evolution of all plants and animals therefore follow the inner nature of the most influential people in any civilization. All development of life is recorded in the magnetic field of the earth. This recording comes directly from the minds of people. It condenses into magnetic substance and combines in the magnetic field of the earth. The plants and animals receive direction from their development directly from the magnetic field, which acts as the mind of the earth. It is influenced by the collective minds of the members of the dominant civilization. What's the dominant civilization in America and on the planet? Huh? Think about this, black folks. Take it or let it alone, but this is true knowledge. This knowledge is important in order to understand the effect of the human mind on animals. This knowledge is important to understand the effect of the human mind on animals. This is the power of the mind, black folks. How the mind affects the animals in our universe. And the animals of the dominant civilization. Allah Akbar. This knowledge is important in order to understand the effect of the human mind on animals. Now, the mind obviously uses the brain as its seat of operation. The mind uses the brain as its seat of operation. The mind uses the brain as its seat of operation. That's why it's so important to take care of the brain. Understand what I'm saying? That's why it's so important to keep those 14 billion brain cells operating at its fullest capacity. Thought travels at 24 billion miles per second. That's why you all should be practicing how to eat to live. That's why you all should be getting away from all this poison food. All of this liquor, whiskey, drugs, cocaine, heroin that we're putting in our bodies, killing the brain cells of the original man. That's why you have major corporations able to sell you cigarettes when they say on the package, food, this will cause you cancer. Or they come out with a study and say, if you drink alcohol, black woman, eventually you more than likely will develop breast cancer or some form of cancer in your body. You understand? The devil know what he's doing. Got all this genetically modified weed or marijuana on the market today. Got our black people, black youth, wilding out. You understand what I'm saying? All they become is like a damn robot. No ability to think. The mind is being placed in a box. They develop sound and put it in our music to keep the mind in a box. You understand what I'm saying, black folks? Social scientists, social media, All right. It said, now the mind obviously uses the brain as its seat of operation. And so the brain of all animals are a partial manifestation of the human brain, and not the other way around. People did not get their brain by evolving from the brain of animals. The exact opposite is the case. That is, all animals got their brain by development using the human brain as a source of their development. Animals are not fully unified beings as humans are. Human beings are the full unity of life in all its aspects. The perfect animals called totems each manifest one of these aspects. Developing animals then develop from them takes on various aspects according to the different combination, all the while under the direct influence of the integrity of the dominant society. Therefore, when you ask what is the implication that humans have a reptilian, a mammalian brain, the answer is that all reptiles and mammals develop their brains modeled on the human brain, but emphasizing only certain parts. In other words, reptiles develop with an emphasis on the reptilian part of the human brain, and so with mammals. The human brain has three parts: reptilian, mammalian, and insectoids. The insectoid brain is the smallest of the three, but its contribution to the whole is not affected by its size. It says, I hope that I made it clear that when I call the part of the human brain reptilian, mammalian, and insectoid, this doesn't mean that they are named after, listen, reptiles, insects, and animals. The very opposite is true. These animals got their name from the three parts of the human brain. First and foremost comes the human brain. We call it three parts: reptilian, mammalian, and insectoids. Although in an ancient language they are called by their proper names. Now, when the animals developed, three types of animals each took a part of the human brain as the main source of this brain development, and are thus named after their respective part. The distinction is important. It is exactly the opposite of modern teaching about evolution. Who taught you about evolution? It's important. The importance will become clear later when we discuss how certain extraterrestrial life forms came into being, especially those called grays and reptilians. I hope this answers part of your question. The rest of it will have to wait until later. Black folks, this is heavy, heavy, heavy knowledge. This is true science. This will clear up if you take it and accept it and receive it in its right manner. This will put your mind on a different level of understanding. You understand what I'm telling you, black folks? This will give you the knowledge on how to teach and train up one another. This teaches us how to collectively come together and become in one mind, one heart, on the same beat. You understand? Allah Akbar. This is all I'm going to give you. Popkeys is going to give you on this part of the subject tonight. I want to give you a little bit more, but I want to make sure you can handle it now. A lot of people say don't teach this, Popkeys. I say the hell with that, because I know the minds of our people. I know our capability. Understand? I know who the original man is. I know for sure you can process this because it's already in you. That's why they don't want 19 Keys on any major platform. He got a major platform he developed on his own. Where it come from? Out of his mind. I see people are so worried when 19 Keys was down there with all them stars and Hollywood people, musicians, and Art Basel. Talking about they worried about 19 Keys being indoctrinated until their systems were taken away by giving them a major contract. Let me tell you something, black folks. Let me say this only one damn time. We game tight. All the way. We cannot be tricked by the devil. You understand what I'm saying? At all. That's why you see the young soldier burning that sage amongst the people. That should have told you where his mind was at right there. We ain't no sellouts. We of this world, but not part of it. You understand? Allah, the Mahdi, and the teaching of the most honorable Muhammad, Elijah Muhammad, is like this force field, this protective hedge that's been placed around him or her, where we can take and go amongst and go behind the enemy line and wrap this devil around our little pinky finger. You understand? We're here to effect change. We're here to shift the paradigm and bring in a whole new world order. Take over time. We know the ways of the devil like a slinking snake, laying in tall grass, waiting to strike. Understand? But some of us are not like these house niggas of America, where we can be bought out by things, by a contract, understand, that makes you a slave to them. Getting caught up in the spider's web, being entangled when they put money and things in front of you. You understand? Offer you something shiny like they did on Shaka Zulu in the movie. You think, let me say this, can you fool a Muslim nowadays? Not nowadays, hell no. You understand? Keep watching. What you seeing in front of you is showing you how not to get caught in the entanglement. You understand? We don't need the damn contract. Only contract we need is with the Mahdi and the teaching of the most honorable and humble Elijah Muhammad. And keep looking at that light that's been placed in front of us through our great minister, Minister Louis Farrakhan. You understand? With that, how can we lose with the stuff we use? Don't worry about 19 Keys. You understand at all? Worry about yourself. Learn, listen, watch, and learn. You understand? How we bring down this beast with the grace and the help of Allah. We making gods on the planet, not fools and tools for the open enemy, not only to us, but to God himself. Hell no, not nowadays. Because I say this, I say Muhammad. I say Muhammad. I say Muhammad's got the devil on the run. That's right. Run, devil, run. Up, 2, 3, 4. We're going to run him all the way off our damn planet black folks. Oh, yes, he on the run now. If you watched the podcast last night, 19 Keys broke it all the way down. Everything he using is artificial. He don't have the ability to create artificial insemination because he's dying. You understand what I'm saying? Right in front of your eyes. He's dying. You understand what I'm saying? Like he said last night, he's in a state of emergency. He's calling 911 and ain't nobody on the end to answer the call, to pick up the damn phone. You understand what I'm saying? And I talk like this because this is what's coming. You understand? Black man God. He looking for God in the black nation. But he taught you about God and what to look for in the last days. So when God appears, you understand, you will deny him as well. You understand what I'm saying? Because he taught you to look for him in the wrong way. You understand? Well, you wouldn't recognize that true and living God, the Mahdi. He taught you where you couldn't recognize the messenger of Allah. You understand what I'm saying? Because he gave you a religion full of falsehood. He indoctrinated your mind. He indoctrinated your body and used it as a tool to propagate his word. You understand? While you look at all these men and women that's on these platforms and on the radio station, you understand, pushing his agenda. When you talk about something different, they want to shut you down. On a lot of these call-in platforms, then they have people call in, don't have a damn clue of what's really taking place, and they try to browbeat you like your knowledge is irrelevant. But they're the one that's irrelevant today. Shame on these so-called educated ones. I heard the brother say, we need the educated ones to help us build a nation. It would be much easier. But how can a dead man help you build a nation for self? While he's holding on to the ideology of the devil himself, educated into his death house. Look at it. What black man in the world of the Caucasian has stepped out there and say, I'm going to help my people? He can't do it. And the main reason, because it ain't in it. It's been taken out of him. You got to do what Master say. All these theologians, all our preachers and ministers that went to theologian school and became preachers up under the devils. Unlike Muhammad said, they're going to be the first ones to go, taken out. And I see it just as plain as day, my brothers and my sisters. You understand? Everybody running down here talking about, I'm a Christian. Well, you're a dead man walking. I hate to say it. You understand? Because I know a lot of good brothers and sisters up under the cross. You understand? So when you see that true and living God, you're going to deny him. Did they not deny Jesus in your Bible? Read it closely and come with an understanding. What they were telling you, black folks in America, oh yeah, you're going to deny him because you weren't taught to see him. You weren't taught to hear him. You was taught the opposite. You understand what I'm saying? Black people in America, oh yes, take over time. Take over your mind. Take your mind back. Take your understanding of this life and this world and throw it away. And come in with a whole new understanding based on truth, based on pure mathematics. Add it up, black man, black woman. Because if you don't, Allah is very, very, very merciful. We talked about mercy, that a king and a ruler should have over his people, even though he's a soldier, even though he can be ruthless and be a killer. But you only kill to sustain that which is based on righteousness and truth of Allah. You understand? So Allah always sent a warning to us. That's Allah's mercy. Do you understand, black folks? Church houses shouldn't be set up to be mega millionaires living in giant mansions, and you send a poor man to knock on this door, and they'll tell you come back on Wednesday on prayer night to pray with them. How in the hell you know I'm gonna be able to get back on Wednesday? I come up here with holes in my shoes and holes in my pocket, trying to get something to make it down the street, and you telling me to come pray with you? You got private jets. You got gold and diamonds and Rolex watches on your wrist. Your children going to the private schools. You got Rolls Royces. You understand? Jags and Benz, Maybachs, or whatever else they got out there. You understand? Sitting on 10, 15, 20 acres. 5, 10, $15 million mansions. But you're talking to the poor man and woman in the gutter about this mystery God while you're living like a king, telling the original man, pray. That thing gonna be all right. Hell if it is. You understand what I'm saying? Well, you're sitting in the church house, you got a cracker on the cross. You talk to some of our African brothers and sisters, they say, well, God ain't got no color. You're a damn lie. That's a condition of your mind. That's the only way you can accept it. Been brainwashed and conditioned not to even see a true reality. Believing in falsehood, making up a false damn reality. You understand what I'm trying to tell you, black folks, tonight? But let me give you a little bit something about what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I had some more I wanted to give you tonight, but I ain't gonna pile that on you tonight. Understand? I got plenty of knowledge for you if you want it. I got knowledge on the earth and the sun. But what I really would like to say is this before I take that part out. It says, from the wise ones of old, the teachers of true science, the originators of true civilization, all who decide new perspective and are tired of the old lies and cannot understand what modern scientists are talking about, here's an ancient perspective on physics and astronomy using modern concepts. It said, what is physics is the question. It is the knowledge of the laws and principles of atoms and electrons. What is astronomy? That is the question. It is the knowledge of the law of governing stars and planets. Listen, what is the difference between stars and atoms? Size is the only difference. When you're looking at the stars, you're looking at an atom. Understand what I'm saying? It said the laws and principles are the same. Atoms and electrons are miniature stars and planets. Listen. And stars and planets are giant atoms and electrons. There is no difference in the size. The movement and revolution are the same. The orbits are the same. The laws of magnetic attraction and repulsion are the same. Modern scientists want to keep the laws of atoms structured to themselves by cloaking it in a mystery. It said, when I look up in the sky, excuse me, I see the very same atoms they see in their electron microscopes. God put the stars out there for all to see who cannot afford the $1 million research microscope because the stars are what the atoms look like in miniature scales. If you look at an atom in a miniature scale, it'll look the same way as the stars. We're going to break that down. I'm going to let you go. The earth and the sun. Would you like to stand on an electron? Is the question. Would you like to, brothers and sisters? Well, the earth is a giant-sized electron. What is the nucleus of an atom is the question. Check it out. The sun is a giant-sized nucleus. The electrons are at every atom orbited around their nucleus exactly the same way the earth and the other planets orbit around the sun. If you don't have a multi-billion-dollar electron microscope to look at the nucleus, then look at the rising sun. And there's a perfect nucleus. And there is a perfect nucleus. Look at the earth. You stand on, and there is a perfect electron. Listen. Our solar system is a giant atom. The laws ruling its motion are the same as for an atom. We stand on an electron called the earth. And behold, the electron itself is made of electrons. Is the earth not made of atoms? Yes, it is. And if the earth is an electron, the electron is made of electrons. If the solar system is an atom, then the atom itself is made of atoms. Mystery solved. What is the fundamental particle of matter? It will never be found by instrument. They're over in CERN now. Got this big machine running all up under the earth and stuff. Trying to find the minute particle of matter. It will never be found by instrument because every atom is made of miniature atoms themselves. They are even made of smaller atoms to infinity. Smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. It goes into infinity. You can never find the smallest particle of an atom with your damn machine, white man. No wonder modern scientists can never find the smallest particle. They keep discovering another, a smaller and smaller one as their instruments improve. But we don't need instruments. They'd be handy if we could afford them, but we don't need them. We only need what? Our minds. Allah Akbar. You understand? I got more on the solar system and atom, but I'm not going to give you that tonight. That's a little bit too much for you. Understand what I'm saying? I'm going to close you out with the Honorable Muhammad Elijah Muhammad and let you go. Understand what I'm saying? It says, as long as we seek to study how to be a greater argue of each other, we'll never get no place in this world. I'm not here to do that, so says the most honorable Muhammad Elijah Muhammad. If he wants to argue, then okay. I don't want to be here to hear it. You can sit down. Be sane. Represent yourself as a sane person. If you say that you love your brother over there in New York, okay, prove it to me by showing that you love your brother in Chicago. We don't come for that. We don't come to argue. If you don't like what I'm saying, you don't have to take it. In the Holy Quran, it teaches Muhammad that Allah make for himself an enemy in every town. That enemy keeps you sharp too, black folks. He goes in, that's to keep him always aware that you cannot get by without having enemies dissatisfied. Some of y'all dissatisfied with this teaching tonight. There are those type of people who always want to make themselves heard and seen and heard. Well, it's all right, so long as you're helping the people. But when you're not helping the people, we don't care to see you nor hear you. The key is to help the people. Elijah Muhammad said, man, you don't mind if you're arguing, if you're helping the people, we can deal with that. As the judgment nears, people's hearts harden. But this is to be endured because the scriptures cannot be fulfilled unless these things go on. You can't go down there trying to pull fish out of the lake, handling them with your hand without getting fed every once in a while. So I am not in any way dissatisfied. I've been catching many fish out of the lake of hell for many years, so said Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I am not in any way discouraged. I know I'm going to be the winner. Allah has given to me the victory before ever you saw me. So when I hear you talk, I know who you are. And I am not in any way surprised. Only thing that I'd be surprised with is when you don't say nothing and showing respect. Then I get happy, knowing then that I have a people before me who will unite with me. My job is not to argue with you, because I know I have the key. You argue yet, you cannot get out unless I let you out. I have a job here to do, and these people here are in the crossfire. I must get them out of the crossfire as God raised me up to do, trying to get us up out that crossfire of the devil and Allah. But raising these up, they will help me to get to you here because quickly, he said, I will raise these up. He talking about the brothers and sisters that's standing up now, bringing that knowledge and trying to help the people. That's why you ain't got to worry about 19 Keys or the minister and any other of these brothers and sisters out here teaching truth to power, trying to raise the mind and hearts and the spirit of the people. You understand what I'm saying? Black folk, Allah got it. They're going to fly to their own homeland and tell what they have heard in a new country. We're making very great success in doing this with the help of Allah. He is helping us. Yes, He is. We don't want to break our principles of civilization acting a fool. Whenever people act wrongly and ignorantly by you, try and get out of their midst. That's all you got to do. Lead them to Allah and don't stay in their midst. That's why He's telling us to separate. That's the best thing we can do. These people are playing their last game and will soon be out of our sight. We are tired. We are tried with temptations, putting that shiny thing in front of you. But we don't want to accept them at the present time. We know what is going to become of this work. You can just hold on. If we can just hold our peace for a few days, everything will be over with. We will be happy. Allah Akbar. That's what I wanted to give you tonight, black folks. There is so much knowledge available to us. And I see Allah uses vessels to bring that knowledge into the minds of the people. Thoughts of things. Like I say, like that drip of water. Some of you in this audience will get it. Some of you will take this knowledge and start to evolve. Some of you will take this knowledge and incorporate it into your homes and bring it into your families and start to teach your children how to become a God. Say it again. Teach your children how to become a God, but first you must become one yourself. So as I come before you, I'm going to leave you with the divine words of peace and paradise. Assalamu alaikum. Good night, black family. Good night, black nation. Good night, the original people of the planet Earth. and God of the universe take it or let it alone. Lord Akbar. Good night. Until next time. I say Muhammad. I say Muhammad. I say Muhammad's got the devil on the run. That's right. Run, devil, run. Up, 2, 3, 4. Assalamu alaikum. Signing out. Take over time, black folks.